what's going to happen, do you?
Would you just breathe on me then?
No.
Greed, deceit and revenge all await the most haunted team in Los Angeles. Hello and welcome to Most Haunted USA. Away from the glitz and glamour of California's most famous city is a home that once witnessed the realization of the American dream. But with such wealth now lost in time, we're left with ghostly apparitions, dark shadows, mysterious voices, and severe poltergeist activity. And that is why I brought you to the very haunted Leonis, Adobe. The district of Calabasas lies at the northwest corner of Los Angeles, and in keeping with today's location, it holds a strong link to the immigrants that flooded into this promised land. Whilst the name Adobe signifies the method originally utilized in building this ranch, a certain Miguel Leonis also lent his name to the construction. A settler from the Basque province that borders France and Spain, Leonis soon gained notoriety as ruler of the San Fernando Valley. But did the wealth and power gained from owning an 8,000-acre ranch only contribute to his sudden downfall? A theory exemplified by the mysterious circumstances surrounding his death in 1889. His impoverished widow saw little of his wealth and spent years fighting the same court battles that had hounded her unloving husband. Was this a betrayal that she took to the grave? And do any other traumatic tales still haunt the modern-day museum that we investigate today?
I think the most amazing thing about this American tour is the fact that we're seeing such different places. And now we're at the Leonis Adobe.
The ghostly figure of a man resembling Miguel Leonis has been seen on the first-floor corridor. Could he be one of the many spirits that haunt this very active location?
He was a smuggler, came from quite a good family, and when he was found out, he had to flee the country and came here to California. He got a job on a ranch not far from here. It was partly owned by 3 Chumash Indians and also a gentleman called Joaquin Romero. He was a big drinker, and eventually Leonis managed to buy his share of the ranch. He then married an Indian, the daughter of one of the 3 Chumash Indians.
This bunkhouse is the same size and in the same position as the original bunkhouse. Maybe that's why so much paranormal activity occurs in this particular area. Dark shapes have been seen at the windows, strange noises and voices. But most alarmingly, furniture moves all on its own without any logical explanation.
When he died, he left over $300,000 and was in fact the 3rd richest man in the state of California. But he only left his wife, Espiritu, $10,000. It took her the best part of 16 years battling through the courts to eventually get the tenureship of this property. And unfortunately, she died soon after getting control of the house.
After her death, Espiritu's coffin was laid out here in the living room, right by the mirror that is said to be a portal to the other world. Could this be one of the reasons why there's so much activity in this room, from dark shadows to strange noises, and also people being touched by unseen hands?
There are all sorts of ghostly incidents. Don Miguel is seen standing by the front door. He's seen standing on the staircase. Espiritu is often seen standing in her bedroom.
Her ghost has been seen many times standing by her chest that stores her clothes. Indentations have been seen on the bed, and she's said to take a strong dislike to men that enter the room.
And on many occasions, there's a very strong smell of rose perfume, the perfume that she used to wear.
Even though this house behind me is reproduction, everything inside it is authentic. So could it be the furniture or the building that's causing strange knocking sounds that emanate throughout the house? We have 24 hours to find out. Although we now feel well versed in exploring just what America's haunted houses have to offer, this particular paranormal investigation will provide its own individual complications. However, parapsychologist Kieran O'Keefe is definitely prepared.
So what do you think of Leonis Adobe? To me, well, I've never ever seen anything like it. How do you think tonight's going to go?
Well, I feel like we're in the movies.
Yeah.
You know, it's a ranch, it's got that whole cowboy feel about it. It's a fantastic place, absolutely fantastic. Tonight's investigation, I think, will be really, really good. There's a lot of history here.
Now, the people that would have been here, as it is set up now, they obviously would have spoken fluent Spanish. So when we're doing our seance, I think we've covered this before, do they understand English if spirits are around? And if not, do we need to interpret? Are we going to do that this evening?
Well, I think there's two aspects to that. Knowing that neither of the mediums actually understand Spanish means that if they actually come up with any words, it's an example of glossolalia, which means that they're speaking a language that they have no knowledge of. And that, for me, is quite evidential. Now, if they do start speaking Spanish, then obviously we'll translate. And I have a basic knowledge of Spanish that we can actually do that.
What about some of the paranormal activity for you, which is the more intriguing?
By far the most compelling testimonies are those of people that said that they've been touched by some unseen spirit. They've actually sensed that it's a woman, but they've certainly been touched and there's nobody around them. That means the crew have to be extra vigilant. They have to report any sensation, either sense of presence or if they've been touched anywhere. So they really have to report it and be very conscious of that fact.
Our latest investigation in the land of opportunity offers Most Haunted another glimpse into the USA's eclectic origins. But presented with the reconstruction of a ranch called Leonis Adobe, what can we expect to learn from mediums Derek Okora and David Wells as they walk around for the first time in this allegedly haunted property? With so much history in this American home, we wondered whether Derek would pick up on the two strong characters that resided here. The living room seemed the perfect place to start, as many people had witnessed dark shadows and eerie noises within this room.
Hey, Derek.
Yeah, Ivy,
What
yeah.
do you feel in this room, your initial thoughts?
Well, actually, there's, my first impressions as we walked into the atmosphere is of movement of a spirit. More than one, actually. A couple of spirit people. There's one, I feel that this particular one, he'd be like a shadowy figure. He would not show himself. The feelings here is as if I'm getting movement. It's like there could be something, maybe, just as an example on that table there. He'd like literally pick up an item, because I get as if I'm going to this window here with this one. And it's like he just takes something maybe from there and place it there.
So what's his connection to the house, then?
I feel he was a man that was of standing here. The only, oh God, the only fly in the ointment, so to speak, with him is I feel he meted out some kind of justice here. He made a decision with a group of others to take a man and hang him. He screams, and his agony. Can we move into there?
Yeah, sure.
Is that okay? Yeah. Oh, incidentally, sorry, Evie. This man, also, it's not just this part of the room. He moves around everywhere.
Which man?
The man of standing, of the family. I feel the one who was hung, only a young man, probably in his 20s.
And the time...
He didn't eat the horse.
What? You say he didn't eat the horse?
He didn't eat the horse. What does he mean? What do you mean, Sam? Eat the... It's like as if I'm accused of taking a horse. And, you know, his innocence of saying, you know, if I did this, where is the horse? Simple excuse to say that if we can't find it, he's eaten it.
So they hanged him because they thought he'd eaten a horse?
Yes.
We know of the man who became the king of Calabasas, but as night falls on his former home, who would feel the wrath of Miguel Leonis? Most Haunted team find themselves in Calabasas, an area that attracted some of the West Coast's earliest immigrants. One such man was Miguel Leonis, whose ranch of the same name is our base for the day. And after encountering male belligerents in the living room, a delightful female energy appears to wait for us as we head up to the first floor.
Since coming up onto this level here,
Yeah.
I'm getting the walking of a woman,
Yeah.
a lady, a good soul, but a mixed character. That's the way I can describe it at the moment. Oh, she was colourful.
Was she very beautiful?
Very.
Really?
Very vivacious.
Yeah.
She was a striker to a man's eyes.
Really?
She was married. Mm-hmm. I know she liked being paid compliments by men. She liked the company of men.
Yeah.
It's like saying this. I know who I'm going to be with tonight, but tomorrow night it'll be someone else.
When he died in 1889, Miguel left behind not just his wealth, but also a wife. However, this is where their connection largely ends, as she saw little of his money, a betrayal that left her wary and resentful of any male suitors, until her death here in 1906. Her name was Espiritu, and her bedroom awaited us next.
Her energy at times sits here, and she sits slightly awkward. It makes me feel as if my side here, something here in effect. And it's like when she got up, the leg for some reason was so she wore, it's like an impediment. She endured that, but she was happy.
Right.
Sorry. As well as being a happy person, sorry to be blunt, it must have been quite painful for her.
I feel it
her
was.
nightly activities.
Yeah, I feel it was, and I feel, you know, this is going to sound terrible, but that affected her. But the thought of her love affairs and what have you kept her on top.
This feisty, strong woman lived a very healthy life, and indeed just a year before her death, Miguel Leonis' widow contested a fierce court battle that finally saw her win the land that her miserly husband had disinherited her of 16 years before. Earlier, David Wells had also visited this site, and he too found the heavy burden of male malevolence overbearing along the ground floor.
So how are you feeling when you're looking here?
It's really odd because outside I felt fine, but in here my energy's starting to change and I'm starting to feel really heavy, because this is a big character. But
Do you think he minds us being here?
yeah, I think he does mind us being here. He's not, though. There are two here. There's a woman, and she really minds us being here. She's much more aggressive, but she's in another part of the house. I want to concentrate on him. He doesn't seem like an American, you know, and I guess what was an American back then, I suppose. I would say he's either Portuguese or Spanish. He's dark. He's making my energy feel heavy because he's so, you know, he's so cold, he's so calculating.
So what was his role here with the house? What connection?
He seems to own it. He seems to be Miguel. Miguel?
Right.
Okay.
His name. Seems to own it. Spanish, very Spanish.
That's right, yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
is it right? Is that
Yeah,
who he is then?
yeah.
Okay, because I was getting Michael, but it didn't fit. I guess Michael Miguel. He's very much in that corner. It seems as if it's more of a.
Let's go over there to
No.
the corner.
It's,
Come.
there might have been a desk there at some time in the past. It seems like he's working there. You know, he's.
Over in this area
Yeah,
here.
this area here. Maybe against there actually. He just seems more observant at the moment. I think, you know, he's more walking around just watching. He had a lot of enemies. What I'm being told is that he had a lot of enemies, and everything he had, although he would put it down to hard work, was done at someone's expense. Smuggling, gun running, maybe even the odd illicit alcohol dealing. I don't know. They're just not a nice character at all.
Miguel Leonis was indeed a man who attracted few friends, despite the prominent growth in his wealth and property. The illegal activities that forced him to abscond from France soon fell into place in California. His marriage may also have appeared a success, but David's reading of Espiritu's bedroom hinted at an altogether different relationship.
Like she's seeing her making love. Just an impression. It's not the whole thing, thankfully, but it's just her face. And it's kind of like, you know, putting up, you know, we'd say in our country, we'd say, you know, lie back and think of England. It's kind of like that. It's a real horrible thing for her that this aggressive, and he is an aggressive man, would use her in this way.
So there was no love. So
no, definitely no love.
Were they lovers? Not love. Were they just together? Were they married? What was their relationship?
It doesn't feel as if they were married.
Hold on, sorry. I'm just getting some strange interference on your mic, David.
John and I did, well, John went round earlier on with my frequency counter and he said he was picking up unusual frequency levels around this property.
Very strange, yeah. The frequencies were just jumping from 200 megahertz to 800 megahertz and back again. I've never seen anything like that.
There's nothing around that would cause that, is there? Nothing.
Well, we were thinking maybe there's a train line, and he was saying possibility,
I
but
don't know what a train line would. I don't know how that would.
It was electrical.
Were they just together? Were they married? What was their relationship?
It doesn't feel as if they were married.
Hold on, sorry. I'm just getting some strange interference on your mic, David.
Espiritu's bedroom is definitely one of the ranch's most active areas. But even now we can find no explanation for the unusual frequency levels that initially interrupted only our psychic's microphone. And if Leonis Adobe's former landlady is angered by our presence, then a rational reason for her annoyance was about to be revealed.
I don't think they were married. It doesn't... They may have lived as husband and wife, but it doesn't feel to me as if they were married. Well, if they were, it's a very odd relationship. I don't know what this is. It's kind of like, you know, if someone wanted something, they would marry the chief's daughter.
Right.
You know, they would take the chief's... There might not be any love there, but it was a political decision. It was the right thing to do, if you like, to achieve another goal.
Any name with her?
I can't get a name, but it's like an Indian thing. She's speaking some kind of derivative of Spanish.
right.
You know, it's like a mixture interspersed with very guttural, what I would associate with you know, Native American Indian.
Okay.
I've got a name that he called it, which was Pig.
Was it?
Spanish is in Pig. That's nice. So this is an indication of... I mean, I had that downstairs. He actually said to me, go upstairs and see the pig.
What? He said that downstairs?
Not nice, is it?
You never tell us then!
Well, no, because I wanted to
I know.
see what he meant. Now I want to see what he means.
You can see her.
Well, I have an image in my head of what she may have looked like, and it's... she's broad where a broad shouldn't be broad. You know, she's very big and very kind of like, you know...
So she's a fat woman. She's a big woman.
I mean, he wasn't, I think, towards the end of his life, anything, you know, he's certainly no oil painting. But she is big.
Is there any
But
way-
she's grabbing money. She's sort of grabbing, and it's not like she's hoarding it. I don't know what she's doing with it. She's saying, mine, all mine.
What
She's
sort of
saying
things
hers.
would happen in this room?
I think there may be visuals. People may see dark shapes or an impression that she's around. I think there may with her also be a smell, but the smell I get is more of a heady perfume. It's like an incensey type thing, or something she may have put on. So there may be that.
With David seemingly picking up the energy of one supposed female spirit, we move into the corridor to see if this area will reveal the female's identity.
Right, okay. Behind here is the picture of the lady of the house.
Right.
Doesn't have a name on it anywhere, does it? No. No. Okay, do you want to...
Oh yeah.
Pretty. This would have been her not long before she passed away.
Right. Yeah, that fits. I would say, though, that if that's not long before she passed away, before that she was bigger, slightly bigger. The face is right. But I think obviously if she's an older lady then, but she would have been bigger.
Right.
Okay. And when you look at that, can you concentrate on it and see if you can get a name? I'm sorry.
I think he may have had given her a name. Maybe that's what it is.
Right.
He may have given her a name.
Right.
Okay.
This is quite a significant photo too, because this was right after she had spent 16 years, is that right, Richard?
16 years.
16 years battling for ownership
Of this property.
of this property.
So grabbing the money.
Yeah, right. Okay, put that down.
Contrasting phenomena such as dark shapes and perfume smells are just some of the sensations known to greet visitors to certain parts of this reproduction ranch. So what would we find as we enter the bunkhouse on the land that has witnessed so much of this town's past? Staff and visitors have heard the ghostly cries of children, and dark shadows are seen in this small, isolated space.
I feel in this room, although it doesn't seem, it's not the room, it's the space this room's on. Because in my mind, what I'm seeing is a smaller building, similar but smaller.
So it wasn't as it is now?
No, it seems smaller, but there's a little boy, and little boy's hiding. There's actually, I tell a lie, there's a little boy and a tiny little girl, and they're cowering in the corner. But I'm trying to think, why is he here? Why is he... I mean, if you had a place that was nasty in your life, why would you return to it?
Yes.
Because of the girl. I think he's saying to me, because of the little girl who didn't cross properly, he's come back. And he seems more... So why I'm seeing this, he is more of a... He's more of a light. He has more of a translucence about him in my sight.
Yeah.
And she's a bit more solid. Now that to me says that he's come back to protect and to keep. And it's her. But I wouldn't be surprised if people pick up on a dampening here, a sadness here.
Despite the troublesome characters that appear to litter this land's tempestuous past, David's sensing of a more infantile presence does ring true based on previous paranormal reports here. Yet so many sightings are linked to the husband and wife that remain synonymous with the ranch, even though they died a century or more ago. So if Miguel and Espiritu are still in residence, then perhaps a living room séance would test their resolve. And with our cameras now in night vision, Derek, Stuart, Kieran and John Dibley head to Espiritu's bedroom, while Carl, Kath and I join the circle that David had opened in the living room.
Is anyone in this room, any astral beings, any spirit beings? Miguel, if you're here, please make yourself known. Please make a sound. Please touch one of us.
Do you feel anybody's here, David?
Oh yeah, I feel his presence around us.
What? Me? Are you okay? Yeah, sorry.
What's wrong?
No, it's just it's like somebody grabbed my trouser leg or something grabbed my trouser leg.
I never moved my feet. Didn't move my feet at all.
How's everybody feeling here?
I feel quite calm. I feel like there's a lot of us in here, and
There is.
I know, because there's a lot of us. It doesn't add to the to the feeling of being scared or whatever.
Well, we're quite jovial too, aren't we? So.
Yeah, but I like that.
Should we stand up? Because the table's on casters.
No, he's not near me, is he?
Who?
He's moving around, but I'm telling you, he has a particular interest in you.
It's really weird because I really felt as though my bottom was being like felt.
Ask him. Just ask him.
Like this.
Ask him.
Miguel, please, if you're here, please make your presence really felt. We know you're here. Right.
That was really hard. That was.
What?
Somebody really grabbed me this time.
On your bum?
On this side, yeah.
He may once have ruled this land with a ruthless rod, but has time mellowed the mean and moody Miguel Leonis? And who else would live to regret their antagonism of the woman that Miguel left behind?
Just heard footsteps.
The latest leg of Most Haunted's American and astral adventure is bearing witness to the belief that a person's traits, whether good or bad, can follow them beyond this realm. Basque immigrant Miguel Leonis arrived in California in 1858 and soon attracted much wealth, but far fewer friends. Additionally, the Leonis Adobe was also a home to the betrayed wife that this misogynistic man left behind. Would we make contact with this man and his wife Espiritu, and if so, what activity would we witness?
Miguel, if you're here, please let us know, or any other astral beings here, make yourself known.
Hey guys, you know, just for a moment there I got a waft, okay, going right across my nose. And all it was, basically, and you're going to laugh at this, it's like a stale smell of sweat. Now, I know it's not my body, because, you know, I'm not sweating. But just for a couple of seconds, is it where I'm sitting now, that's just come across my nose.
Someone's just moved my chair. I don't know if it was him. Miguel, if that was you, please move my chair again.
See, it almost feels like there's something under the table. It's weird.
That was.
What's that?
Just quickly in front of me, I saw it was a mental imagery. It was like gold background, two swords crossing each other, one upright, one crossing the opposite way, and above it, the word Valencia.
All right.
I don't know what it means.
Well, Valencia, you know, is a town in Spain.
Yeah.
A city in Spain.
Okay. Right. Well, that was just showing me.
Don Miguel, do you think this is still your house?
What? There's just straws on my neck.
There's nobody there.
There's nobody there.
No, I mean, there's no physical presence there. It wouldn't surprise me if it was him there.
Flutter on the back of my neck.
That's what I felt on my trousers.
That was weird.
The Espiritu on it. Despite all your crimes, it felt like something actually moved my chair then.
I heard
it.
I had it creak, yeah.
He doesn't like that, does he?
The road outside here, El Camino Royal, means the Royal Road.
Yeah.
And it's actually this property. It's funny you should say that, though, because this property, the tenure, even to this day, actually goes right back to the King of Spain. So there is a big connection with Spain.
Yeah.
Right.
But I have no idea if there's any connection with Valencia.
Okay.
Shall I see if I can get Espiritu? Do we know what Espiritu means, by the way?
Yes. Spirit.
Spirit. Espiritu, please come forward, make yourself known. I have to get a bit heavy with this one. Oh, my hands have gone freezing. Espiritu, please make yourself known. If you don't want me here, my hands are freezing. Espiritu, if you don't want me here, please show yourself. Make a movement.
Here.
Yeah, right across my hands. Yeah. Espiritu, please make yourself known. If you don't want me here.
Okay, just shine your camera across the window of that.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh.
You couldn't have done.
What?
Just stand back where you were.
Stand back behind the railing.
Back on your spot.
Behind the railing.
Back on your spot.
Back in the box.
Right, now just pan your camera just up and down where you're standing now.
I see.
Couldn't have been.
What did you see?
Two lights go across, two red lights.
Red lights?
Yeah.
Go
On the
across
outside of that window, go across that way.
from right to left?
Yeah, from where you are to Richard.
So it
on
was
the
not
outside. So it couldn't have been that.
Do you know, I feel like something's pushing my hand.
I was just about to say the same thing. I'm not moving.
So just push my hand.
Okay,
Do you feel heavy?
I feel like something was pushing my hand. Nothing on it, man. Doing it again. Look. And I swear to God, I'm not.
You're not consciously moving it.
A séance circle can sometimes affect some of its participants, but this opening vigil was unusual as various degrees of phenomena appeared to occur, from the physical reaction felt on David's chair, Kath's neck and my hands, to the sudden and chilling draft that seemed to sweep through the centre of our circle. Disappointingly, the red lights witnessed by Stuart were not caught on our cameras. Indoors, our vigils at Leonis Adobe had so far turned up very little evidence or phenomena, so I decided to lead our US researcher Anthony and David back in the same bunkhouse where the psychic had earlier felt the presence of a young boy and girl.
Do you feel there's anything here?
Yeah, I'm just trying to make a bit more contact with him. I've got 2 names now. He's called her Little Maria, and is Cortez a boy's name?
Yeah.
Okay, Cortez. Just touched my left leg.
What has?
Something's just touched my left leg. Like a child on the floor though. It's, you know when child's crawling, that age.
Oh.
Like that. Just touched my leg. We're here to help you. I really want to help you, but first of all I just need to make sure that I'm right, that you are here. Could you make a sound for me? Use some energy from me if you need it. Just take a little bit of energy from me. What I'm going to try and do, I might just, if you give me a second, open up the portal and see if that, I mean they won't just disappear, they would take the time, and also I think they like to do something just before they go.
What? Red pants, are they? Yeah.
Yeah,
They just moved.
Did they?
Yeah.
Sure it wasn't just the light?
No.
That's why I opened the door, that's why I was asking. I've opened the portal here. There's something odd happening to me as far as energy goes. I've just felt a real walk through someone. Walk right through me.
What? Not a child?
No, bigger. This was an adult. The children, I really strongly feel the children have gone because the door's shut, the portal's closed.
So we've released the children?
Yeah, it seems to me the kids have gone, I can't sense them anymore.
So who's here then? What, we let somebody in?
No, the door with me.
Who moved then? Who the hell moved then? Did you feel that?
Yeah.
Who the hell moved then?
What did you feel?
The whole bloody floor shook. You get a name with this guy?
And the name that's gone on in my head is Juan. But I don't think he's not.
Did you just breathe on me then?
No.
I felt the floor move.
Your face, she's face.
I moved, but I felt a draft.
You did? I felt a draft. Massive draft.
I moved, but I felt a draft.
Juan, if this little girl was yours, you must understand she's gone to a better place. It's somewhere you can follow, somewhere you could always have gone. All of you could have gone. Sorry, it's just touched me with the back.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You call out, Kath. Oh, hey, there you go. Hang on, it's a tiny one, it's gone. Is he still here?
He's actually really upset now. I kind of sense him crying.
Our time in the bunkhouse had provided several sensory points of interest, with particular regard to some of the ranch's other residents. Miguel fathered just one child, a daughter who died of smallpox, aged 20. But Espiritu also had a son from a marriage prior to meeting Miguel. Juan Menendez was that boy, and he was to provide Espiritu with a granddaughter by the name of Maria. And having heard of the heartbreak supposedly prominent here, an adventurous Stuart decides to try his luck alone over at the barn, which enabled Kieran, Carl, Kath and I to sample the bedroom that had just delivered red lights to Stuart.
Espiritu, if you can hear my voice, please don't be frightened. Don't be angry that there are 2 men in the room. They are nice men, friendly men, they won't harm you.
Apart from being cold, it's actually quite an eerie place to be standing. You know, because this is the kind of place, you know, you see on movies, you know, films and all that.
Is that dummy on casters?
I thought it's come closer.
It is on casters.
I'll just show you again.
With the discovery of one of Espiritu's dresses on a dressmaker's dummy that sits on casters, I suggested that we ask the supposed spirit to move the dress in answer to our questions.
Espiritu, please, can you hear my voice? Can you hear?
It's turning slightly.
Everything's feel fine at the moment. I don't feel too bad. Though I know something can happen. Anything can happen to me at this moment in time, and I'm on my own. If I was to shout out, I don't think anyone would hear me, in all honesty. Is there anybody in this barn? Is there anybody here with me? My name's Stuart. I don't know your names. If you're around, if you can hear me, please come in and join me. You're more than welcome to.
What is that in Spanish?
Just to move it. Puedes mueve la ropa.
Puedes mueve la ropa.
Can you throw something across the barn? Can you pick something up and throw it? Can you make footsteps? Can you make the sounds of footsteps? Can you tap dance? Can you do something to let me know that you're here?
I know Kieran doesn't like really to take part in and I don't think you'd be comfortable in taking part in a part of it.
Is there anyone in this barn with me now? Can you open one of the side doors? I've just heard footsteps. I don't know where they're coming from.
At the time Stuart heard these footsteps, all the crew were accounted for. And in Espiritu's bedroom, we were amazed at the supposed movement of her dress. And knowing of Espiritu's reputation and her attitude towards men, what else lay in store at the Leonis Adobe?
I'm almost feeling an anger coming from it.
California's San Fernando Valley attracted many of West Coast America's earliest immigrants, one of which was the man who gave his name to the Leonis Adobe Ranch. Stuart's solo vigil in the barn had now come to an end, and Kieran, Carl, Kath and I had been left in Espiritu's bedroom where the experiment with the dressmaker's dummy amazed us all, but it was about to become even more dramatic.
Move the dress. Is it moving?
Yeah, I got it moving.
Espiritu, if you are here, move your dress around like you did before. Do you not want me to touch it? I'm touching it.
A light right across where you've touched it.
Espiritu, do you want me to touch you?
It moved. It moved. I've got the top of it. I've got the top of it. Have you got the bottom of it?
Yes, it moved.
Ask again.
Espiritu, do you want me to touch you?
Another light by you, Carl.
The spirit to move your dress if you don't want me to touch you.
Another light. Another light.
It's
It
just
moved.
moved. It's
Yeah,
just moved.
moved. I got it.
The spirit to move your dress if you don't want me to touch you.
Another light.
The spirit to move your dress if you don't want me to touch you.
Another light.
Want to dance? I just want to get down and dirty.
Oh, big orb. Big orb.
Is it?
Big orb, yeah. Go on. Keep going.
This is really strange. I'm staring at the dress saying that, and I'm almost feeling an anger coming from it. I know it's not moving, but it's almost like the dress is getting bigger. I mean, I know it's only.
Yeah, but still, it's picture reported.
I think that's it. I don't think she's...
That scared the shit out of me, that did, when that moved. If I was in here on my own and that had happened, I would have been outside of there. Espirito, I want you to forgive me for, I didn't mean any disrespect to you or your spirit. You know why I was trying to trick you to show yourself. I have great respect for women, I have great respect for you, certainly for what you stood for and what you did. And please, please forgive me if I showed you any disrespect. I certainly meant none.
The sight of a slightly humbled and apologetic Carl was as unexpected as the events that we had just witnessed. And on closer inspection, we can see that the dummy's movement wasn't consistent. It moved both towards and away from Carl, which surely eliminates the possibility that his hands or feet could have unintentionally touched the model. And before our investigation concluded, David asked Carl to retrace his steps in Espiritu's bedroom, a decision that would prove just as interesting.
But I just feel I've got a headache that I can't budge, and I've just sat here. I felt like I wanted to be sick, and it came across quite quickly, and there's no reason for it. There really is no reason for it.
Carl's nausea caps his own personal experience of a room he'll soon want to forget. And whilst we also captured a few light anomalies, Kieran's additional experiments were to prove inconclusive. Unlike the many castles and rural retreats that Most Haunted investigates, the Leonis Adobe holds an understated air of abnormal activity. We approached this property with open minds, but well aware of the tales that accompany this part of California. And whilst the building can only offer us a representation of the original construction, some of its artifacts clearly still hold an emotional tie with the people who lived here.
Given the emotional history that's associated with Leonis Adobe, it didn't match the amount of phenomena that the Most Haunted team captured.
It was hard for me to get a real impression of it being haunted, because it seemed, I don't know, empty to a certain extent. But things happened, things kicked off, I'm pleased to say. David came up straight away with the correct chap, Miguel Leonis. He said that he thought he may have been Spanish. Not far wrong, because he was actually a Basque who lived in the Pyrenees and emigrated to California. The highlight of the whole shoot was that dress, and the fact that Carl was in there doing a vigil with others, and there's no doubt in anybody's mind, because it's definitely on camera, that dress moved of its own accord.
The spirit to move your dress if you don't want me to touch you.
Another light. Another light.
It's
It
just
moved.
moved. It
Yeah,
just
no,
moved.
no, I got it.
The dress dummy did actually move, but it's a similar sort of phenomena that may occur with glass pushing. Unconscious ideomotor muscular movement may have resulted in the movement of the dummy. Carl didn't actually touch the dummy, but it apparently moved. Now, the phenomena appeared real. What we'll have to do now is examine the footage in greater detail to see if at no point Carl accidentally was touching the dummy. Skeptical explanation would be that he was accidentally touching the dummy with a part of his body but didn't realise. In addition, there were several wooden floorboards underneath the dummy, and standing in a particular way may have resulted in it moving slightly. In summary, Leonis Adobe did not reveal as much phenomena as the Most Haunted team expected.
The Leonis Adobe that greets you today is a testament to its former glories. But crucially, the apparent astrals that appear to exist within strongly hint that you are in death as you were in life. Until next time, sleep tight.
Do you remember the ancient spoon flying past Yvette, or perhaps the crew collapsing during the séance in Lancashire? Living TV are compiling the top 50 most haunted moments for a special this December. To make sure yours is counted, go to livingtv.co.uk and fill in a form by the end of this month. Next tonight, Most Haunted Extra.